What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. Today we're gonna be looking at Apple car, whatever that's gonna be coming out. Hopefully, maybe, we don't know. We know that what do they do well? They make iPods, they make AirPods, they make phones, they make computers, laptops, and all kinds of stuff, and they have a great service revenue stream. They really just own the ecosystem. So with that, Apple via the chart has been very much kind of hit back with most of the NASDAQ and growth stocks, even though Apple is kind of like a technology hardware kind of company. They do have some cutting edge stuff that they could be coming out with, but the stock has been very mediocre just this year. So at the height of the beginning of the year, we opened up basically right around, what is that, 130-ish. So we're actually down for the whole year. So we're down maybe a little over $8 as of the close of today. So down for the year as of right now. We are seeing a little bit of a consolidation pattern coming through here. So looking here at the options tree, that we saw some very large options, not just today, but the last couple of days, we've seen a lot of aggressive buying and some pretty not too far out options. We have a lot coming out in May, and actually just on this monthly expiration for April. So actually, well, April is coming up, but tomorrow is April. Coming out with 7,500 contracts for the 120 call for April, and then we have the 135 call going all the way out into the first week of May. So very aggressive patterns again. This call for the 120 for April, that's worth like $3.5 million. So this is not a little bit of a chunk change. This is not just your uncle throwing some money at some stocks and hoping for a large day in the market. This is pretty substantial here, and the thing is, they're buying it in the money. So you can see that that call, the 120 call, is in the money. Of course, what you mean by in the money, you're seeing it past wherever the stock is currently trading at. The stock went up today, of course, went to $2.22. So started off the day actually not in the money, but when this trade was executed, it was slightly at the money at that point in time, and has gone up ever since then. So we can kind of look at here on how this stock has just traded today, or this particular chart. Here, let's go the 5-minute chart. You can kind of see here coming in today, it wasn't nothing too lackluster here. Started off pretty hot here, so the low of the day was basically around like $3.64. Got all the way up to $5 nearly, but then towards the tail end of the day came down pretty close to that $3.90 range. So something to be very much attuned to, that we saw within the market, because the NASDAQ really much just went pretty high off the beginning of the day, then kind of teetered all around a little bit, had another little push higher, but towards the tail end of the day kind of gave back some of those potential gains. Really just in tune that with the Apple trade here. Again, they're paying at a pretty high price. They paid $4.71. So that they bought it towards the toppy end of the market here. So unless they're suspecting for higher returns here, they're going to be definitely looking for this to potentially climb, because again, that options just today went up 34%. So pretty fantastic little trade there, right? The only kicker here is that luckily they bought something very close to being in the money, because it is only 16 coming in tomorrow, 15 days away from expirations. So we know that theta is going to be killing on this. This is going to be just sucking out the blood from this options. Any of that time decay will start deteriorating. Of course, that's going to really start seeing the effect coming out on these like further out calls around like 126 down the line here, all the way to the 130s and 140s. You can already see some of the time decay kick in here around the 135 to 140, that they were actually pretty largely negative for the day with those options. Of course, those are trading next to nothing on like 10 to 11 cents and so forth. Those are already, again, getting killed in by the theta closing circle here of the time decay as known within options. So again, is this a bullish play? Yeah, a very bullish play in the short term, without a doubt. But if we go back into the bottom list here, we can kind of see here some larger positions coming out a little bit further dated here. We're seeing some stuff, some larger put positions. Again, we don't know if they're selling premium or they're protecting their position. That's the only caveat a lot of times when you're looking at options trades, especially these large time and sales orders. We just don't know what's going on in the head of the trader or the investor or the hedge fund on the other side. So to be very mindful about that. We did see, look at this one, which was actually quite impressive. Someone went all the way out to the 17th of March of 2023 and bought 1,725 calls at 520. So that's a nice little chunk of change there too. That's well over, what is that? Almost $1 million, $888,000. That's pretty far out. That's until 2023. Some more puts coming in here. I saw something that highlighted me in the 2022. Where was that? It was a call in 2022. It was fairly large order. I thought maybe I'm missing it here. This is it right here. Yeah, right here. So we had the 15th of June, basically come out in 2022, the 125 call. So this is quite a ways out what we're currently looking at. So this is not even January. This is June of 2022. So you can kind of see here on that 120 call, 125 call, getting a large bid here. Even that call is so far out there, the bid and the ask is actually pretty tight here. I actually kind of potentially like this trade personally for myself. If you're going to be a little bit longer term Apple and getting those leaps, that's fairly decent. The IV currently in that option is very low as well. So nothing, if you're really suspecting a large move in the old Apple here in the next year or so, that could be a nice little trade there without a doubt. You can look here on the weekly chart. We've kind of seen a little bit consolidation like we just highlighted here on the daily chart. I don't know why that switched over. Let's go back to the daily. There we go. That's kind of like in this little box trade. We kind of talked this about the purgatory zone and just kind of been bouncing around here. We've kind of seen it sell off, but then kind of consolidate for a little bit. So normally, if stocks want to kind of break out, they have to break out of this box, of course, like a Houdini kind of scenario. We need to see it break out above this. Again, guess where that line kind of lines up? This line right here is the 50 simple moving average. That lines up with the top of that box. So that 128 to 127, high tide 127s could be a potential break if we do get any kind of bid to the upside and get that volume to kind of come through. We did see a significant amount of volume coming in today, which is actually quite spectacular. So if we go into this chart here, I want to highlight this bottom part here. It was a little bit slightly with average that we saw in volume. So this is again the average volume, and then you have that little line here is the average of the last 20 days, and anything above that is higher than average trading or average volume on trades. And you normally can see that when there's large earnings or the split announced and things like that. But then you sometimes get mediocre little upward moves. As we're looking at it now, and then more analyzing in the sense of what's going on here with Apple, is this just kind of just going to be trading sideways and then going to just come crashing down and break past 120 and come all the way back to 100? I don't know. I don't have that crystal ball yet. Again, like we talk about that crystal ball quite a bit here on the channel. This thing, we've seen kind of a pullback here, basically from this 145 range that we saw beginning of the year, coming into the low here. There we go. I need to zoom up here. So basically, in the last 42 days, we've gone down about 20%-ish. So that's kind of somewhat in that sweet spot of potentially not steep, but like a meaningful correction, kind of more of a reversion to the mean. Not the meme like a SpongeBob meme or things like that, more or less just coming to the averages here. So where's that coming into? That is sitting here on the weekly chart. So we're looking here at a weekly chart. So be mindful of that as well. That 21 and 34 EMA, we're coming into those two zones here. If we can continue to consolidate here and really just kind of build up the momentum and get that get some Red Bull in the beast here, maybe take it a little bit of line of the white stuff, and maybe get that burst higher above that range that we really could see some strong moves coming in with Apple. And the same note, we do have earnings coming out on the 26th of April. So earnings arc is starting. Earnings season is going to be coming already. Again, we just ended the first quarter of 2021, and a hell of a quarter it's already been. Looking forward to quarter 2, 3, and 4, of course, as well, with earnings coming around just in about a couple weeks. The most things that we can look out for potential run up, of course, the NASDAQ stocks have been hit pretty dramatically. Not all names are created equal. Of course, we've seen the SPACs really getting hammered more than others, and the very higher growth names that didn't have a really solid platform to stand on are kind of crippling and falling, and not really seeing the strong recovery as we have seen. And at the same note, I think Apple, let's be honest here, like Apple is fantastic in the sense of you don't have to agree with the company, but the stock's pretty strong here and the company as well. So again, looking for those ranges to hold here. We do have some short-term support around 118, 119. If that does not hold, we could be seeing Hello Kitty to 113 to 115. But being an optimist and looking to the bright side, I'm actually kind of looking for this to kind of hold, meander here a little bit, and maybe start breaking up to that above that 125 range, and start seeing that potentially trying to reach and crawl its way back up to 130 and get that stock back into the groove and getting back on the dance floor to burn some rubber. But on that note, guys, thank you so very much for stopping by for another fantastic video. Please hit the like and subscribe button down below, and check out the Discord links and the Amazon affiliate links as well in the description below. All right, guys, namaste, peace.